morning, cutie pie. How was your first sleep in Argentina?
Surprisingly warm, but shitty sleep. What's for breakfast?
For breakfast is sunshine and Patagonian winds.
So today is our very first day in Argentina, and it's going to be full of admin because we need to set ourselves up in Argentina. First of all, we need to get some money. Okay, step one complete. For some reason, that's $100 US. That's stuck. Second thing we need to do is get a SIM card. Third thing, we need to do our laundry.
Woo!
Washing. Oh my god, it's like Christmas, fresh washing! And fourth thing is we need to get some fuel. Let's go, I think that's all we need, right?
Yep.
Let's go! Morning! Today we are really starting our road trip through Argentina. We've just done all our admin stuff yesterday and now we are driving south on Route 40. At the moment we're driving through what basically looks like arid desert. It's crazy. There's just nothing.
We've never seen something like that. It's just at a moment where we crossed Argentinian border, it's just all green just turned into dust. Wind is just crazy and this is like walking on the moon. Like, it's just so bizarre. There are like skeletons everywhere alongside the road. There's so many llamas and like we saw ostriches and like so many cool animals that you will not find anywhere else.
So those are what we've been seeing. Guanaco. They look very much like a llama.
For 2 hours and it's just nothing.
The wind here is like so strong because we're in a massive plateau and there's just nothing. And the car is just getting pushed around like so hard. I'm like struggling to hold onto the steering wheel. And we just drove directly into the wind and it felt like all my mirrors were just going to fly off.
Yeah.
It's super crazy the wind here in Patagonia. So we just stopped in on this very, very small town to have lunch. We tried to get a little bit of coverage between two massive trucks from the wind, but it is just impossible to escape. We couldn't open our vent. I'm pretty sure it would just snap straight off when we were cooking. We cracked the door and it was just dust blowing in everywhere. It's really extreme environments here. I don't know how anyone can live here. It's like a cyclone every day.
There are like 5 houses, but there's like school, ambulance, and a few shops. But how can you live in this? Like, you cannot do anything.
I'm actually also legitimately worried about the van flipping over while we drive. The wind is so strong, and with the high roof, we're kind of like a sail. When I was driving just before, like, I'm getting pushed around so much. We've heard of stories of vans being flipped over by this wind. So I'm just going to drive very carefully and probably a lot slower than what you should drive, just to kind of negate the risk of flipping over. So after 2 days driving the worst roads and winds we have ever experienced, we have arrived in El Chaltén, which is essentially Argentinians' version of Torres del Paine. It is the mecca for hiking and mountain climbing. We had just started our very first hike this morning. It is snowing at the moment. It is cold. There are some mountains behind us that we can't quite see, but apparently it's going to be spectacular. This is pretty cool because people like me from Australia, where we don't have woodpeckers and we only know of Woody Woodpecker, the cartoon, to see one in real life in the snow, smacking his head on the wood, that's pretty special. Oh, that's pretty. This is pretty magical. It is still snowing. We're sitting at the end of a glacial lake. There's floating icebergs. We've got a hot tea and some couscous that we cooked earlier, and the wind has just died, which has just made this place amazing. Alright, it is completely freezing now. We're gonna head back down, I think have a hot shower somewhere, some tea, and we'll see you tomorrow. Oh my god. We are still in El Shaitan. We've been here for 4 days now. You can probably see that the van is rocking around like crazy because it is so windy here. The last 2 days after we got back from that hike have just been torrential rain, and we've been waiting for a micro window climb up to the Fitzroy Mountain. So tonight we're going to be heading up there. We're going to camp up on the mountain, and then in the morning we're going to climb to the peak
for sunrise. So we'll have to wake up very early, climb the steepest part, which is probably 1 hour, and then hopefully we'll have amazing sunrise. Tomorrow the weather should be absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect.
We haven't actually seen the towers for the whole 4 days we've been here. It's been covered in cloud every single day. Tomorrow is going to be the morning, the day. We're really looking forward to it, so hopefully we actually get to see something. So where are we going?
So we're going to see the Laguna de los Tres in the morning, but tonight we're going to this camp, Ponchenot. So we have 8 kilometers ahead. The steepest spot is here, so that's gonna be for tomorrow morning. So today we're right here. We have to hike all the way up.
One thing we are a little nervous about is it's going to be really freaking cold up there tonight, probably in the negatives, and we don't have like alpine rated sleeping bags. Could be a chilly night, who knows, let's see. So this is what it should look like, and that's what it looks like.
It's gonna stay surprised until tomorrow morning. It's also snowing!
So we've just come into this pretty exposed area and just got blasted by the wind and snow, like little BB bullets hitting your eye. It was actually quite painful. So we've just arrived to the campsite. It's so cool. There's all these little barriers made to protect from the wind. There's like a proper snowstorm going on behind us now. So it's actually really nice. It's protected here from the trees. So it's going to set up camp and get ready for dinner. So we are nice and snuggled in our tent now. It is still snowing outside and it is freezing. Hopefully our sleeping bag is going to be rated to these temperatures. Vendy's actually got a kid's sleeping bag because it was cheaper. She thought she'd be able to fit, and it was a little bit tight.
I can just fit.
We're smashing all our snacks that we actually bought for tomorrow because we're still hungry. We also have mulled wine that we've bought up, which is a nice little luxury. Hopefully the weather will get better for tomorrow, but we can only hope. But we will see you up at the summit tomorrow. So it's now 5 a.m. and it is so windy. It is like a freight train going past every couple of minutes. It's crazy cold. It's still snowing outside. We're still not sure if it's going to be clear, but we're making some hot tea because we know it's going to be so cold when we get to the top. It's always nice to have some tea. It's a little bit snowy. It's very cold, huh?
It's just not so nice with the wind in my face.
When we got up the top, everyone that was doing the hike huddled behind one giant rock like penguins and just hoped that the clouds and the blizzard would clear so we could see something. However, in fact, the blizzard just got worse and worse. It got colder and colder, and we really started to get so cold that we really just need to head back down the hill. So that's the view. So obviously that was a bit of an experience. It was pretty much a blizzard with gale force winds. Every time you looked into the direction of the wind, you basically got peppered by bullets of ice. Unfortunately, we didn't see what we came here to see, but that's how it is sometimes. You win some, you lose some. Hopefully we get a better look at Torres del Paine in a couple of days. I think we've got some good hiking karma. We're gonna pack up and trek back out, and we'll see you soon.
We are very disappointed
because we didn't see Fitzroy, so this is our reward.
It's a bit of an update on our coolant voltage situation that we were really worried about at the start of this trip. It's been about 3 weeks since we put the new radiator in, and we've been testing the coolant voltage twice daily, adding a little bit more coolant at a time to make sure that the coolant wasn't the issue with the voltage increase. At the moment it's only about 10% coolant. Pretty confident now that I can drain some more, and then we're basically just putting pure coolant in to increase the concentration, because we are going further south into freezing temperatures, and we definitely do not want our coolant to freeze. That will just destroy our radiator and our engine.
We are on our way from El Calafate to Perito Moreno Glacier, which is enormous, huge glacier. It's really famous, I would say worldwide. So we're super excited to go. The drive is so scenic. It's right on the edge of this beautiful blue lake and mountains with like snow-caps everywhere around the lake, so it's so beautiful. We can see all these tour buses coming in the opposite direction. What we read so far was that most tours are coming to the glacier in the morning and then leaving by 3 p.m. So we actually timed our visit in the way that it's gonna be after all, like, you know, tour buses and all tours already left. So we don't want to be moving around the glacier and in the crowd.
Hello.
Hola chicos.
Hola.
¿Cómo están? ¿No tienen mascota adentro?
Pets? Oh, no pets.
Okay, it's okay. You will pay the ticket with cash or trash card?
Efectivo.
Efectivo is 5,500 for each.
Gracias.
Have a nice day and keep the ticket for the discount the second day.
There'll be no second day.
Still quite far away. We're going to go all the way down to the very front, but just seeing it from this far back, it is insane how big this glacier is. You see all glaciers retreating in the world, and this thing is actually stable. Holy hell. I can't wait to get up close. It's gonna be amazing. So this is just a really cool experience, essentially just waiting for the ice to drop off, and there's basically no one here anymore. It's 6:30, the sun is going to set, so hopefully we get a nice sunset here, but man, this is actually one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It's just astronomically large, it's crazy. It goes like 30 kilometers back. There's so many glaciers feeding into this one main big glacier. It's 700 meters deep. It is actually the third largest water source of fresh water in the world, this Patagonian ice field. Oh. And there's a ice breaking off, but unfortunately the rangers are coming around and kicking us out now. We were hoping we could stay here for sunset, but they are booting us. They're walking around to all the view stations and saying we need to leave. So we're very slowly strolling back to the car.
It's actually rangers down there.
Oh, there's the ranger. So the ranger just told us to leave again. Alright, let's go. So today is actually going to be quite a difficult day for two reasons. First of all, we have another border crossing back into Chile, and second of all, it is actually my mum's birthday today, when she passed away in January this year. So to celebrate her birthday, we wanted to cook her favorite food or something thereof that we could get our hands on, and her favorite food, hands down, was always garlic prawns. So we basically scoured all the supermarkets in Patagonia, found some frozen prawns, and we thought maybe let's make garlic prawn pizzas. So that's what we're gonna do. So if you've never made pizza in a pan, it's actually quite easy. We do normally make our own pizza dough, but we got a bit lazy today. We're using tortillas, and you cook it on a pan on really low heat with the lid on, and it basically just makes its own little oven. Turns out pretty well. So Mom, this pizza is for you. Cheers. Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday.
It's delicious. just got our papers stamped for leaving Argentina, and now we're gonna cross to Chile. So that's the part that we are like more afraid of, because they'll be checking for food and just like they can make decision to not let us in the country for whatever reason. So let's see.
So like with any other border crossing, leaving is always a lot easier, and getting in and out of Argentina seems to be a lot easier than getting in and out of Chile. They seem much more strict on the Chilean side. So here's hoping that it all goes to plan and we don't run into any problems. So for me as an Australian, entering Chile is always much more difficult than the European passport. I had to apply for a visa. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking going through the borders for the first time with new documents, not knowing what they're going to say, and not being able to explain yourself in English if something starts to go wrong. So we are back in Chile. That was a really smooth border crossing, luckily. Yeah. The officer, he just came round, basically just checked our fridge and our freezer. She did look at my visa for like a long time. She was checking every single document because I have the extension as well. But we're back in, so that's a big relief for next time we leave and come back, because that'll be only in a couple of weeks. Right, time to get some food, because we had to get rid of all our fruit and veg, and we've got a little tiny market here. We're going to get a little bit of food for our hikes, and then we are off to Torres del Paine. So if you're going to come through the Chilean border at Rio Don, there's no shops basically between the border and Torres del Paine. The only one is this tiny little shop. All we wanted to do was get a little bit of fresh fruit, because that's what you can't take over the border. We managed to get, what did we get?
2 pears, 2 apples, pre-packed like this.
For 2,500, which is about $5 Aussie. If you can, get canned food and stock up in Argentina, whatever you can, just not fresh stuff, because there's nothing here, and what you can get is very limited and very expensive. Join us next time for when we discover the absolutely mind-blowing Torres del Paine National Park, make it to the end of the world and have more car problems. If you want to see what we're up to on a daily basis, remember to follow us on Instagram, salty_vanventures. See you there.